Hello guys, and welcome back to Let's Build a Desert City. Today, we'll be tackling the Warlock Chambers. Now, when building something that you don't have a clear image of, or something you haven't really built a lot before, it's okay to use something as a reference image. Now, should you copy the reference image piece by piece, detail, till it's like perfect replication? Maybe, maybe not. I personally don't. But that being said, the thing I will be referencing here for this Warlock Chamber is going to be heavily influenced by the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, if you've ever seen those. So it's going to be sort of a tiered pyramid with some protruding, I don't even know what they're called, but yeah. So as you see right now, we're starting with a nice solid base, and I'm outlining the different tiers with different colored cloths so I can get a feeling of how big each base is going to be. So obviously the green one is going to be the biggest, yellow is going to be the second biggest, and blue will be the smallest, which is going to be the top. And just like I did with the bottom part, I'm going to come in with world edit, I'm going to count up first, nerd pull, count up how many blocks I want, and then I'm going to world edit in a nice solid pillar. Just like from the last week, it's better to have something solid that you can carve into. And the reason I say carve into is almost immediately you see me carving into this giant chunk. So I immediately cut out, I think that's about 6 or 7 blocks deep to get a nice overhang effect. Then I start work on the columns. This build, just like the obelisk build, is going to be symmetric. So I will only be doing one side and then copy and pasting that side to all the other sides, just to save time. Now I'm coming in with this fancy thing. I don't know what it's. I mean, this is the part that was heavily influenced by the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. That sort of a waterfall effect, I guess, without any water though, because I didn't want any water in a Warlock Chamber thing, and lava just looks weird. Columns and that waterfall column thing, I don't know what I'm going to call that, but with that done, now I can just copy and paste it to fill in the rest. Once I finish up detailing how these columns are going to actually look. There we go. Last column gave me quite some trouble. I spent probably a good 10 minutes just trying to get the line up properly. But eventually I do get it. And now I was feeling there was just too much sandstone in this build, and rightfully so. First, it's time to add some more effect to these waterfall structures. A nice crown on the top with some glowstone provides both lighting and is very appealing cosmetically. Then on the rims, I replaced the normal sandstone with smooth sandstone to get that pillar effect that we're talking about frames. And now it's time to move to the second tier, and once again carving into it. Now it's time to extend those waterfalls out a bit more. And then I'm realizing, I'm having too much sandstone here. I gotta break this up. So the base of the waterfall, where the water would be, I replace it with red sandstone. And on the outline, I go back and I replace it with a nice smooth sandstone instead of just the chiseled one. So it's time to add in the columns just like the first part. This whole build, I'm trying to keep it as one. I want to see fluid flow throughout the entire build. So those columns and the waterfall effects are going to be present throughout all the different tiers of the building, wherever possible. Wood is used very sparsely here, just like in the previous build. It's used just for the glowstone hangings and in the columns. It's the only place the wood is used in this build. And as far as the lore of this goes, the warlocks come here. I mean, this city has a lot of warlocks. They need somewhere to live and practice their dark magic. That's why they come to the Warlock Chambers. It's sort of like a mage's college. As you see, looking at the sort of waterfall effect down to the second tier, it's not going to go all the way down, though. I stop it, because if I go all the way down, I cover up those columns. You can't have that. And then it's time to carve into the base to get that little detail, because while these columns and waterfalls do give some nice effect, you don't want to have a blank wall behind them in case someone decides to get a little bit closer and realize there's no detail back here. So it's very important to get back there and make sure everything has detail that the person will see. And then we're on to the final tier. It's too small of a base to add the waterfall, so we're just going to be using the columns. As you can see, adding some detail into the base, trying to get a nice look. I'm testing different things, wasn't really satisfied. Ultimately, I do decide to go back and do the waterfall effect, just because it's such a nice look. And then I do add some little detail in there. And then it's time for the roof. The roof was pretty much just me putting stairs down, so I cut it down. It was me going around in a square just putting stairs. Didn't think that was that entertaining. But here, wherever there was two elevated parts where it was a block, just to break up the pyramid a bit, get that sort of, hanging towers of Babylon, or hanging gardens of Babylon look. And inside those, I put stone stairs, or sandstone stairs, and glowstone behind it. And in the center, I broke it up a bit with some nice red sandstone. And then it was time to add some detail onto the top of these different tiers. As you see, it's kind of boring. And then I world edited in all the different sides, just to make it easier on myself. And then the next tier, world edit, all the other effects back in. And then I realized that I made detail on all the other tiers except for this bottom tier. Like that the back wall had no detail, so I had to come back and a detail effect to it. So it was pretty simplistic, just sort of like a tunnel of glowstone, and then some torches. And that's it. That is our Warlock Chamber, and I must say, it looks better than the obelisk. If you'd like what you see, make sure you tune in next time, where we might be tackling the Royal Pavilion. Till then, see ya!